to the Life Lesson YouTube channel, where we share stories, ideas, and wisdom to inspire your journey. Sit back, relax, and let's begin today's episode.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's funny. Sometimes the biggest, most earth-shattering results, they don't actually come from some huge, sudden change. They seem to emerge from the quiet power of these tiny, almost invisible adjustments, just repeated again and again.
And that's such a counterintuitive idea for a lot of us, isn't it? We're sort of wired to expect the big bang moment.
Exactly.
But Clear really argues that the real magic is in those, atomic level shifts.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's such a hard thing for people to really buy into?
I think maybe we're just conditioned to look for the silver bullet, that quick fix.
Yeah.
But today we're doing a deep dive into James Clear's Atomic Habits. We want to unpack the surprising power of these small changes and how they can, well, pretty much revolutionize your life. Our mission here is really to give you a shortcut, a way to understand why these tiny shifts matter so much, and crucially, how you can actually start using them.
And Clear himself, his own story feeds into this, right? He had that awful baseball injury back in high school, and he basically discovered that these small, consistent habits were his way back, his path to, reaching his potential. It's quite powerful.
It really is. Okay, so let's explore this power of small improvements.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is how it just fundamentally shifts how we think about success. It's not usually one giant leap.
Right.
Think about the British cycling team example he uses.
Yeah.
Historically, they were, pretty mediocre.
Oh, yeah, famously so.
But then in 2003, this guy Dave Brailsford came in as performance director, and he brought this idea of the aggregation of marginal gains.
I love the story. It just so perfectly illustrates the point. His goal was just a 1% improvement in, everything.
Everything.
Things you wouldn't even think of. Redesigned bike seats, sure, but also how the riders washed their hands to avoid getting sick. Even the paint color inside the team truck.
Wild. And the results were just, staggering. Within a decade, this team that, couldn't win a Tour de France, they became dominant. We're talking 178 world championships, 66 Olympic and Paralympic golds.
It's incredible. And it just highlights that math of compounding he talks about.
Exactly. Getting just 1% better each day for a year, it makes you nearly 37 times better by the end.
37 times.
But the flip side is also true. Get we 1% worse each day, and you basically decline almost to zero.
It's almost scary how quickly those tiny percentages add up, for good or bad. It really makes you think about those small daily choices. But it's not always like a straight line up, is it? We often hit that wall, what Clear calls the plateau of latent potential.
Precisely. Progress isn't linear. He uses that ice cube analogy, right? At 25 degrees, nothing. 26, 27, still a solid cube. But then at 32 degrees, it melts.
Yeah.
That 1 degree, which seems no different from the others before it, unlocks this huge transformation.
Or the stonecutter quote.
Right, Jacob Riis.
Yeah.
It was not that last blow that did it, but all that had gone before. All that work accumulates, often invisibly, before you see the breakthrough.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that frustration. You're putting in the effort day after day, and it feels like nothing's happening. It's so easy to quit right before.
Yeah, before the ice melts.
Exactly. So if that payoff isn't always obvious right away, how do we stick with it through that plateau? Clear has this really powerful shift in focus, doesn't he? Away from just goals.
Yes. Towards systems. And this is such a key point. Goals aren't bad. They set the direction. But systems. Systems are what actually make the progress happen.
Like Bill Walsh, the football coach, said, the score takes care of itself.
Precisely. If you want better results, forget obsessing over the championship, the goal, and focus instead on the daily practice. The training drills the system. Goals are temporary, systems are ongoing.
And he pushes that even further, linking it to identity. It's not just about what you do.
No, it's about who you are becoming. That's the deepest level.
The cigarette example illustrates it perfectly.
Yeah, the difference between saying, I'm trying to quit smoking when offered one versus, no thanks, I'm not a smoker.
Completely different. One is focused on the struggle, the outcome. The other is a statement of identity.
And every action you take is like a vote for the type of person you want to become. So true behavior change, the kind that sticks, is really identity change.
Okay, so that's the why. How do we actually build these tiny habits? How do we cast those votes? Clear gives us a really practical model.
He does. It starts with understanding the basic habit loop, that 4-step pattern. Cue, craving, response, reward. Our brains automate solutions to recurring problems. That's what habits are.
They make life easier, really. Less thinking involved.
Exactly. And from that loop, he derives the 4 laws of behavior change. Basically, 4 levers you can pull. 1, make it obvious. 2, make it attractive. 3, make it easy. And 4, make it satisfying.
All 4 are important, but he really emphasizes starting with that first one, make it obvious. Maybe because it's often overlooked.
I think so. It all starts with just awareness. You can't change a habit if you don't even realize you're doing it.
Like that story about the paramedic who just knew her father-in-law was having a heart attack by looking at him.
Yeah, she saw the subtle cues.
Yeah.
Her brain recognized the pattern, even if she couldn't immediately list the symptoms consciously. Our habits operate below conscious thought a lot of the time.
So we need tools to bring them into the light.
Right, like the habit scorecard he suggests. Just list your daily habits and mark them. Positive plus negative, black or neutral. Simple awareness.
Or that pointing and calling technique from the Japanese railways.
Yeah, verbalizing your actions and their outcomes. Point at the signal. Say signal is green. Apparently it reduces errors by like 85%. It forces conscious attention.
Okay, so awareness first. Then how do we make the new good habits obvious?
He gives us really concrete strategies. First, implementation intentions. Don't just say, I'll exercise more.
Be specific.
Exactly. Use the formula. I will behavior at time and location. So I will do 20 push-ups at 7 a.m. in my living room.
And there was that British study, right, where the group with a specific plan
Had a 91% success rate for exercising versus only 35-38% for those who just had the goal but no specific plan. Specificity makes it obvious when and where to act.
Okay, that makes sense. And then there's habit stacking.
Yeah, another great one. The formula is, after current habit, I will new habit. You attach the new habit you want to build onto one you already do automatically.
Like after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute.
Perfect. It uses the momentum of an existing habit. It's like the Diderot effect. One purchase leads to another. One habit naturally cues the next one. Makes it obvious what to do next.
And the last big piece of make it obvious seems to be the environment.
Oh, hugely important. Often more critical than motivation, actually. Think about that hospital cafeteria study by Anne Thorndike.
Right. They didn't lecture anyone about drinking less soda.
Nope. They just rearranged the drinks,
Huh.
put more water bottles in the main fridges, added water stations near the food.
And what happened?
Soda sales dropped over 11%, and bottled water sales jumped almost 26%. Just by making water the more obvious, easily accessible choice, your environment is constantly sending you cues.
Wow, so it really drives home that building better habits isn't necessarily about willpower or some grand gesture.
Not usually, no. It's more about designing effective systems, making the cues for your good habits obvious, making the bad ones invisible, and just consistently casting those votes for the identity you want.
Small, consistent, obvious actions. Absolutely. So as you listening go about your day, maybe consider this. What's just one small atomic change you could make obvious in your environment today? Something that would cast a vote for the person you wish to become.
A great place to start.
Definitely something to think about. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Life Lessons for more inspiring content.